Alright folks, hello and welcome to another modern stream. I wanted to play Brew a little bit today, but while I was recording the Titan Talk podcast earlier today, I realized that apparently the showcases are going to be this weekend. So where I'm going to be using the week streams to be doing some testing then. So again, I still think the Green White Reclaimer is just very, very good right now. So I don't really have any incentives to change which deck I'm gonna be playing. But what I'm going to be trying out today is just like yesterday, we tried out X Whale's list, and towards the end, I basically wanted to. I really like the list. Let's start with saying that I really like the list. So basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to take. Make a couple of little changes here and there and see how things work out. Number one, both Gracers are gone. We're playing 2 Explorers instead. I have been liking Explore a lot. In fact, one of the things that I really liked the most about Newton's list from the mocks was precisely the fact that it was running the full 4 Explore. So we're going to see how that works out. Also, not only that, but I just don't like Gracer in this archetype. It's a lot tougher to undo the card disadvantage in a deck that only has a single Celestia Sanctuary. Like, one of the bigger strengths about Amulet is the fact that it is very easy to mulligan with Amulet because the bounce lands just by design kind of like undo your mulligans. This deck doesn't really have that luxury, so a card like Arboreal Gracer has a very high cost to playing it because it is precisely a card disadvantage, right? It's just something like a Mox Diamond, except that a Mox Diamond that enters the battlefield tapped, let's say it like that. So because of that, I'm going to be playing Explore. So we're gonna be doing that. Do you have a current list I can grab for my trip down Friendly later? Yeah, Spider. Yeah, check out the list. For those of you that don't know, apparently Spider is gonna be streaming. He's gonna be streaming some Amulet later today with Everos, so that should be fun. If I'm probably gonna be done streaming before you guys finish, so I'm definitely going to be stopping by. But yeah, so about the deck, I'm still gonna be trying out Canopy Vista. I'm not super high on it. Again, I feel like kind of by design with how the deck works, basically. And the play patterns that the deck incentivizes you to take. I don't think that Canopy Vista makes a lot of sense, while Scatter Groves has the late game upside of potentially being able to bounce it with Sanctuary and cycle it later in the game. The problem is that basically because of how your deck is constructed, because you want to maximize your land names for Field of the Dead purposes, basically you want to be aggressively searching for Canopy Vista, right? Like either with fetch lands or with Flagstones, you want to kind of like search it up aggressively, which means that in the early game is going to enter the battlefield tapped, right? Because you're not going to have both basics in place. So because of that, you want to search it earlier, so any dual land that you get later in the game is a different land name for Field of the Dead. Because of that play pattern, excuse me. Basically, you are incentivized to search this up earlier in the game, which means that the potential upside of the card, which is it potentially being a Savannah in the mid to late game, is basically non-existent because the card is going to be in play. So at that point, why are you denying yourself the potential upside of being able to cycle the land later in the game for no real upside? So it seems a little bit weird. I'm gonna give it another shot today, but kind of, I don't know, it kind of like shocks me a little bit by design. As far as the server goes, I don't know if I made any changes. Oh yeah, I added the second Skyclave apparition, which for whatever reason X-Whale wasn't playing. I don't remember what he was playing in place of the second apparition, but that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I actually, what was it? I can't remember. Oh, the Tracker, that's what it was. Tracker, as I explained yesterday, it is weird. Like, it just feels like there's no real purpose for Tireless Tracker in this list, because the scenarios where you would want Tireless Tracker, just getting away towards Titan is just better. So yeah, I honestly wish that Will would show up to one of the streams so I could just ask him all of these questions. All right, so here is the list that I was talking to you about, Spider. From that list, you can probably cut the Soul Guide Lantern and play another relic. And if you don't want to be playing Gaia's Blessing, you can play something else, probably a third Dismember. Those are the only changes. Okay, what are we up against? We're up against a Lurrus deck. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to keep this hand against the Lurrus deck. We're on the draw. Yeah, okay, let's keep this. It is definitely a sus hand. No arguments there. Oh, HammerTime? Seems like it might be HammerTime. Thanks, Spider. Appreciate it. It seems like it is HammerTime. All right. Well, definitely regretting playing this instead of this, huh? That's fine. So we're gonna set a stop on upkeep. We're gonna path Pure Steel Paladin. Okay. But without Pure Steel Paladin, I'm not too scared of this. And now we get to... Okay. All right. Ilodamber's Call might be useful down the line. So here we're just gonna do Spring Bloom here. Just doing Spring Bloom things. Let's do Snow-Covered Forest and the Plains. And now we fetch for a Temple Garden here. Next turn we can Titan, or potentially we can call for Apparition. I mean, it's basically Pure Steel Paladin is the only card that matters at this point, because my opponent just played out their Colossus Hammer. So even a card like the 1-mana enchantment, Sigarda Sage, just doesn't do anything on this board. So that was, I think that was a mistake from my opponent. They could have gotten Sigarda Sage, unless they already have the other Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, they just have the Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, so we're just... we still get to chump, though. We still get to chump. So that probably means... Okay. That's kind of bad for us. Because they're gonna get to equip onto the Mem Knight. That's not lethal, though. I think... Yeah, that's lethal. Okay, never mind. It is lethal. All right. Moving on to the next game. Knight of Autumn. How do we feel about this? Nah, right? What am I missing, Ingolf? The Colossus Hammer denies the flying Locker Flow Kick. But I have a 1/1 blocker, but the Shadow Spear gives trample. So they kind of like undid it there. So before the Shadow Spear, we were fine. We were going to be able to untap before the Shadow Spear. Once the Shadow Spear came into the picture, then I was just dead. I think I want to cut it prime time? Blast Zone is huge in this matchup, by the way. I kind of feel like I want to cut it prime time. There's an argument for cutting the Turn Timber, but I think cutting prime time is the correct one. Sure. Was you know where's the non-flying clause? Yeah, it's something that it's easy to miss. It's definitely something that's easy to miss. Forge Tender? What? Why is this in their deck? I think I want to copy their Silent Clearing. What are your thoughts on Courser Crufix in Green-White Reclaimer? Was tried. It was not good. It was not good. That is basically my thoughts on it. Yeah, our opponent's on the Hammer deck. Go get Cranial Plating. Okay. So I think we're gonna fetch for Reclaimer here with the Damage Skull. That is so greedy. God damn. Like playing Castle under Ardenvale with like, I think this deck plays like 10 planes or something. I guess we could call for Titan too. Let's actually let's call for Titan. Because we can also call, if we don't draw it exactly, if we don't draw the card that we're missing, we can still just call for a Reclaimer and play it on the same turn, so it's no big deal. I really wish we had access to more removal. I honestly had been liking the Dismembers when I played the Dismembers in my sideboard for the showcase list. Keeping this hand because we got removal. Removal's good. Why? I am really confused as to why my opponent insists on playing Burnt and Forge Tender against me. You got it, opponent. Are they just assuming that Valakut is red? That could be it. You might be right. You might be right. I'm gonna save this Path to Exile for, I don't know, something that kills me. I'm not gonna use it here. Not a bad draw. More paths are good. Next turn, Pure Steel Paladin. This is great, actually. So now my opponent plays the Hammer. In response, I path the Pure Steel Paladin. This is just awesome for us. This is such a great exchange. Now we basically just time walk them. They don't draw a card. Yeah, this is just great all around. Colossus Hammer doesn't do anything. Take one. Okay with that. We can have this kind of Vista enter untapped for but then we can't play this Field of the Dead. So let's get a forest and the plains. Let's play Canopy Vista. Let's say go. So we can path this turn. Steel Shaper's Gift. You got it. You got a Cranial Plating. So my opponent has one card in hand, and it's not a Pure Steel Paladin. I'm not going to pass this Ornithopter. Oh, second Steel Shaper Gift. Okay, so now that I know what my opponent is doing... Oh no, I'm dead next turn, so I guess 2 mana, activate. I'm going to give them 1 mana, equip. And this is another mana. Yeah, okay. So I actually cannot path this Ornithopter. So I just wish that we would draw literally anything. I should have said anything that matters, but this one actually, unfortunately, does not. So the good thing here... This is not the end of the world. The reason for this is we can path the Ornithopter here. And then next turn we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can have 6 mana. And we can go get Ghost Squatter plus Bounce Land. We bounce the Ghost Squatter. Okay, I guess we're just going to have to path this right here. Why do people play this Hammer deck? I have no idea. I mean, I guess it is kind of fun. Sure. You got a 9/2 Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. So this is prime time. As I said earlier, I'm going to get Celestial Sanctuary plus Ghost Squatter here. I'm going to bounce the Ghost Squatter and replay it. Get a couple of Zombos, pass the turn. We're representing Path to Exile. My opponent might buy it, maybe they don't buy it, but nothing that they have has flying anyway, so... Hey Scott, how's it going? I will block your 9 and 2 with my 2/2. Should I block with more? What could they have? There's no white cards that give trample, so this is just a terrible attack from them. Oh, they want to recast the Stoneforge with Lurrus. That's what's going on. Didn't say it was a great play. I just mean that it's what... Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's the one I was going to be looking for. Good to know. Sweet. I don't know, man. Like, if you're playing a deck... like HammerTime and you're not beating Green-White Reclaimer, I don't know. I just don't know what you're trying to beat. This is the same as when I get paired against Ice 9 and I beat them every single time. It's just... What decks do you beat? What are you happy to get paired against? Please tell me, because I am perplexed about that. HammerTime is a powerful strategy. It just lacks, you gotta say, the deck sucks. So then it's not a powerful strategy, right? If you're playing a deck that only functions when you draw one of your 4 off, then your deck is just not good. You know what I'm saying? The strategy itself, it's powerful. It's just not consistent. That's like saying that Narset Cannon is a powerful deck. Like, I guess that you could say that, but at what point is it no longer a matter of? So we're probably playing against Amulet here. Storm was bad for forever until Rabbit was printed. That's just not true. Like, stop. I still remember, I can't remember his name, but there were in Pro Tour Born of the Gods, I think there were 2 Storm players in the top 8, if I'm not mistaken. So, turn 1, turn 2, Tangled Floorhedron. It's 1, 2, 3. We still need to top deck, huh? But we're on the play. Yeah, I think I'm keeping this. It is sketch, for sure. It is sketch 100%. Guess my opponent's not playing Amulet. It's kind of fine, though. They might be playing Grixis Shadow, that would be a problem, but... What do you think of 3 Castle Gerenberg? It's been cool. I haven't disliked it so far. In before they play main Gashiok, am I right? So Sagor's Triumph, Thoughtseize. I have no idea what we're impaired against. That's a new rule. Narset. Okay. Main deck Aethergust. That's a fuck you if I've ever seen one, huh? That is a fuck you if I've ever seen one, I'll tell you that much. Terrible draw. It's insane how bad our draws have been every single turn. Kind of crazy. Yeah, Mana Leak is brutal there too. I mean, we might, if they continue to miss land drops, we might be able to leverage this Field of the Dead. I mean, we're getting 2 zombies next turn. That's something. Just have to hope that my opponent just never hits a land drop ever again. Are we supposed to jump into Gust? Yeah, 100%. Like, we can't play around it, right? So we just have to force through. It's game 1, so it's not like we can't play around the Gust. Gust. Sure. Path my zombie. I push my zombie, sorry. Which cards allow you to play around Gust? Well, Elvish Reclaimer, right? You beat Gust when you trade up on them. When they are spending 2 mana to target my Elvish Reclaimer, that's when we are, you know, getting value from our Gust. But they whiffed. Wow, they whiffed. It's kind of insane. I'm attacking the Narset because they might have like the thingy that locks me out. Can't remember the name. The land. You know which one I'm talking about. The one that makes both players draw a card. So here comes Suro. We're gonna path it. Do we want to shuffle there? I mean, I just have so much better draw steps than Druid, right? A Call just wins the game on the spot. A Dryad just wins the game on the spot. Like I just have so much better draws than the Druid. So like the Druid is okay, but I guess for 1 mana there's nothing that I'm really scared of. So I'm okay with giving my opponent. We definitely want to do this right now so we play around force. Hey, Yavko, how's it going? Wow. we have drawn blank after blank after blank after blank. We just have not had a good draw step in this entire game, which is insane. Like not a single one. Every draw step was a land. Literally every single one. A land and a path to exile. Those were my draw steps this game. Kind of insane. Blood Chief is thirsty or zombie. I accept the terms and conditions. Oh, a 3 mana 1/1 with a Harrow attached. You're right. Oh my god! Oh my god! What is going on right now? This is ridiculous. My opponent just... This has been 3 cards that my opponent traded for land drops. Put Gust on top, which I guess makes sense. If they have Udo, that makes a lot of sense. Jace is very good for them. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose now. So we're probably gonna go... We attack first, and I think I'm gonna play a land here. The idea is, I think on their end step, I'm gonna call, and they have the Gust. But this call can be... This call can be an apparition, and they can't Gust the apparition, so... So we're gonna see what they have. They have to do something about these zombies, I assume. Gain control of target permanent. Volcano with the prime sub. Thank you so much for the support, Volcano. Welcome to the primetime stronghold. Sure. They are very likely going to... Oh wow, they didn't. This is gonna be a cryptic. I am ungustable, yeah. Apparition is ungustable. Fetched for an island. Remand is brutal. Remand is brutal. Couldn't have really played around it though, unfortunately. Oh, they have their own field. Oh, we're super fucked now. Is it better to Skyclip here instead of Dryad? Yes, it is. We know for a fact that my opponent has a Gust in hand, right? Actually, this might have been a mistake. Yeah, things are not looking good, chat. Things are not looking good here. Should I play? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we should have played the land first. Because then my opponent... Like, I only care about the one trigger, right? But by playing the land first, what I'm doing is I'm enabling... I am not enabling my opponent's fatal pushes, right? So we know they have a cryptic in hand. This is starting to get very, very similar to garbage time right now. Forget about my land, CTV triggers and priorities. I know, right? Freaking noob. Freaking noob. Alright, that should be game. I mean, we're ahead on clock, I guess. I am surprised at how bad my draws were. Like, I don't think my draws could have been much worse than they ended up being. So it's like straight up bug, I guess, huh? Another cryptic. Yeah, okay. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Okay, so Relic seems pretty good against my opponent's deck. Teague seems solid. Raminep seems solid. Apparition seems solid. Florahedron's bad. Do we want Eidolon? I don't think so. Yeah, they showed us Uru. I also assume that they had like Factor Fiction, that kind of stuff, so Relic is probably fine against them. Same with Gadok Teague. It's gonna trade with a Fatal Push and I'm gonna be very, very sad, but kind of gotta do what you gotta do. Which you don't feel the deck, you drew mono lands? Yeah, but like that's the point of playing a Field of the Dead deck, right? Like you actively want to draw the lands. That's the point. Also, my opponent had Thoughtseize. That is so confusing to me. Like Thoughtseize in a control deck seems so weird. Have I done any work towards an island? It's like, no, it was a brew. I wanted to play it today, but then apparently we're gonna be playing in the showcase this weekend. So this is the list, by the way. This is the next brew to take over Modern right here. These Uru piles are mod mid-range tank control. That's not so true. That's not so true. Particularly, my opponent is playing Archmage's Charm. They're playing a lot more at instant speed. Like my opponent's not playing Omnath. Like the Omnath decks, yes, those for sure. Those are mod mid-rangey. They're not so much control, but god damn, I guess. Back on Teague. I just copied X-Whale's list. I don't think Teague is very good, for the record. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, both games. Can't just put 4 Reclaimer into a deck and call it a new Modern meta? Well, you're wrong on that, my friend. I've done that more than once at this point. Can you go back to the list so I can screenshot Stream Decker doesn't have the right list? Okay, yeah. This is after I played 1 league with this deck and I made some changes afterwards. Get your screenshots. A Ladamri Skull is what they got. Very interesting. I assume that means they have another answer? Well, now that I drew Sanctuary, I can just reset this. Hans deck seems broken? Exactly. In before Gust? Yeah, but that's fine, right? Like, Gust is okay. Honestly, these cards are messed up. I mean, in reality, fetch lands are messed up, right? But once you know that fetch lands are a thing, like once you know that fetch lands are a part, like it's a mistake that you already made, making it a lands like this, once you know that these are a thing that you can do in the format, is most certainly a mistake. Modern not having a good loam deck has surprised me. Well, there's no Wasteland, right? It's a format where Wasteland is not legal. So it honestly kind of makes sense for Modern to not be a good format for Life from the Loam. So I think we're cycling on end step. Sad face. I don't know if you want to I don't know if you want to count Dredge as a loam deck. It is technically a loam deck. Play the Arbiter, sure. Bone Daddy 99, thank you so much for that tier 1 subscription. Welcome back for the 6th month in a row. We're having a great evening and doing well. Have you considered playing Esper and Spike Bant Ephemeral deck at all? I actually streamed it last week. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see me playing a little bit of Aspire and Spike's list. It actually was great. Like, I had a really good time playing that deck. Had a really, really good time playing that deck. There's no way they're playing Snake. No, they're not playing Snake. They could have Snapcaster Mage, I guess. So the Snapcaster would trade with my Gadactiv. We didn't see Snapcaster Mage in the previous game. Teague gets gusted. Shit, does that matter? So we're swinging for 3. We're gonna get another zombie here. Do I want to reset this cavern is another question. I think we actually want to bottom the Teague. I think I want to reset this cavern. So now we force the Cryptic because this is lethal, so they need to Cryptic. I guess they could Archmage's Charm. That was actually not a bad draw. Like if I'm gonna continue drawing bad cards, that one was a pretty good one to be drawing right there. If I'm gonna continue drawing lands, that was the best land to draw. Agent 56 with the Prime sub for 5 months now. Thank you so much, Agent. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. I just cannot draw cards, chat. Please help me. What do I need to draw actual cards? Like, I really wish I could draw just any spell that I could cast. We would be so far ahead if we could draw literally any spell that I could cast. Any spell. We could close the door on this game. But somehow we just can't. we just cannot do it. 3rd turn in a row that my opponent does exactly the same play. Okay. Spells are overrated. Go for the throat. Can we somehow manage to draw 7 million lands and win anyway? Sweet. Anyway, I don't think I saw anything that would make me want to change my sideboarding here. GQ of Laxton's deck thing. Deck thinning is not a thing. If the idea is to get value, I get a lot more value by ghost squattering, by just like drawing a reclaimer and actually ramping with that ghost squatter. You could make the argument of ghost squatter yourself to get a couple of zombies, and that's a reasonable argument. But ghost squattering yourself to deck thin is just a waste of value. In fact, I could the ghost squatter right there is stopping me from getting cryptic locked. So it's even a worse play because of that. Because even though it doesn't look like it, the ghost squatter was doing work there. So get it out of your head, folks. Get it out of your head. Deck thinning is not a thing. Like, it is a thing, but it's not a thing that you should... What's the way that I could put it? It's not something that you should keep into account. Yeah, the only context in which deck thinning would work is like, for example, if you will have 5 mana and it's your last turn where you're just dead if your opponent does anything and you pact on your upkeep. Like that is deck thinning. That is deck thinning that it's worth talking about. How come Knight of the Reliquary isn't here? Magic Commons, I recommend you play some games with the deck before drawing conclusions, because Knight of the Reliquary is terrible in this deck. Like, it's actively bad. It's actively bad. I guess calling for... Calling for Reclaimer was an interesting one right there. Maybe I should have stopped to consider that. Don't value deck thinning. Each instance only increases join other cards. Yeah, it's not worth warping decisions around. That, I think that is the best way that I can put it. I think I'm calling for Dryad here. Mystic Sanctuary for Thoughtseize. Okay, never mind. We're gonna be calling for Titan, I guess. I mean, we do have the Valakut in play, so let's do this now. Yeah, let's do Dryad. So this is, they're gonna Thoughtseize my prime time because otherwise they lose. So we're gonna do that. But like, you see the situation right here, like fetching for thinning. Yes, well, that doesn't quite work when you're playing the deck with both Valakut and Field of the Dead, right? Fatal Push. Okay. So the last draw is a Fatal Push. That sucks, man. That's so shitty for us. I guess we can draw another Titan or we can draw another Dryad. Either of those would be hot. Easy. Modern players fetch too much. Yeah, that's true. That's true. What I am very much against is the random pointless fetch. Right? There's a very big difference between fetching for an actual reason, like you're actively getting an upside. You're getting some value from your fetch, or just like fetching to thin. That value can be different ways, right? Like against burn, that value can be, you know, fetching to not take a damage, for example. There's definitely value in fetching to not take a damage, for example. So they're gonna draw 2 here. They don't draw 2. Huh. I would have drawn 2 because they just cannot Udo. With their current mana, they just cannot Udo and hold up Archmage's Charm. So if their idea is to hold up Archmage's Charm to counter my Skyclave, like that makes sense, but it just doesn't work because they have Field of the Dead, right? So it's kind of weird. What are we facing? That's Udo. That sucks. That really sucks. Alright. That really fucking sucks. So their last card is Archmage's Charm. So we're just gonna run this apparition into the Archmage's Charm. We're really gonna hope that they don't have another Mystic Sanctuary, because that would really suck. But at least we do get to answer their Udo. This kind of sucks though. Like my opponent is very close to getting Uro back online. Okay, they don't have Sanctuary, otherwise they would have definitely gotten the Archmage's Charm back, because that is definitely much better than a random draw, so. Oh, come on, really? The one draw step is a fucking Jace. Yeah, we're gonna lose now. Unless we can top deck back. Please? They left the card on top. That's bad news. That's really bad news. Ugh. Nothing we can do here, and now we just lose to the Jace. Man, that was one draw step, man. We just needed to dodge one draw step, and my opponent just immediately finds the Jace, and then we whiff. Ugh. Legacy DJs you prefer fetches, and I do admit it sometimes shock exists in modern. Percent my fetches a little too much, but I do list versus prowess. Yeah, exactly. You just need to know what matters. It all comes down to that, right? Just like knowing what matters in a matchup, or knowing what matters in a specific scenario. But I see the argument of just like fetch to things so often, and it's just like fetching to thing. If you're fetching with a purpose, sweet, let's do it. But fetching to thing is just so bad as a concept. They drew Abrupt Decay. Okay, so now we're dead. Yeah, now we're just dead. We could continue playing, but they're getting Uro back anyway. That really sucks, man. We had a lot of good draws there. We had so many good draws. We could have drawn Relic. We could have drawn in a Prime Time. We could have drawn so many cards. We have Splinter Twin, so we keep. Don't fetch. Damn it. Don't get a red source. White source. Okay, so they're going to path my Reclaimer. Oh, that's a lot better for us. Boom. My deck just didn't want to function? Yeah, you're actually kind of right. You're actually right. My deck just like didn't do anything. It was pretty funny. Modern player with Dark Depths. I think that people really... I'm not expecting anything, really. I don't know why everybody wants like their deck to be busted. When in reality, your deck becoming busted, it's kind of the worst thing that could happen, because then your deck gets banned. So just gonna call right now. I don't understand why people want their deck to get banned. It's a lot better when your deck doesn't get banned. But usually I don't hope too much. I just wait until the cards are printed, and I wait until the cards are legal, and then I see where we go from there, you know? But I'm not a really big fan of like hoping for cards to get printed. Like, it's probably a lot better to just wait until the cards are printed and play with them and take it from there. I think I'm just getting a castle and just slamming a Titan here. There's no way, like literally no way, that my opponent has any main deck counterspell. They're holding up Spell Queller. Exactly. So we're gonna get Valakut and the second field here. And now we just pass the turn. Bridal chains, that's fine. So we're gonna take 4 here. My opponent's gonna pass the turn. And then we're gonna Dryad, and we're gonna call for another Dryad. So green, white. Oh, we don't have enough green mana. Yuck. Feels bad, man. Most of the cards that make depths good in Legacy are not modern legal. I mean, depths. I promise you that depths would be broken if it were modern legal. I promise you. Like, I promise you. You don't want depths to be legal in modern. Like, you can try to justify it, but like, whatever arguments you have is really undervaluing the power of Dark Depths. Trampoline Depths. That's funny. Well, that's literally all that we do here. None of my cards do anything against the Spirits deck. Yep. I think the argument for it being the top 3 deck in No Violence Mulligan is a poor argument for it, though. Like, it's just got a very good matchup versus the best 2 decks. I'm not making their argument. I'm just promising you that as good as you think that depths would be in modern, it is probably like 15 times as good. I don't know why. That's just a card that people always underestimate. Look at this. Look at this cavern. Look at this cavern that names Elf and can make both of my threats. Both of my creatures are uncounterable. That's just good deck building, chat. That's just good deck building. That's what that is. We're gonna get past here? No. We're gonna get Selfless Spirited. Take 2. Oof, okay. So this means that we're gonna get field with this Reclaimer. Just cool. Should I? Maybe I should have played around Mind Sensor. Yikes. Yep. I guess I don't have it. Drog Skull Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Because at least we talked about, again, I think that you are really underestimating how good the Depths combo would be. I actually had a stream where we went super deep talking about like all the cards in the ban list and stuff. It was fun. I don't remember when that was. It was a while ago now. What are we doing here? Am I main face pathing this Drog Skull Captain? I think I am. I guess I'm getting Castle Garenbrig. Actually, let's get Valakut. It's just, I can spike a Dryad here, and if I do, like, this is just insanely good. Okay, that's not the worst. But I am going to path this right now. They'll make a watered down version like they did with Shadow. Yeah, maybe. Again, it's the same thing. I don't think there's too much of a point in like hoping for cards to get printed. I think it's a lot more useful to just wait to see the cards that get printed and take it from there, you know? Okay, so now we're getting field. Now we're getting Field of the Dead or Blast Zone. Blast Zone is interesting. Yeah, let's get Field. Now the question is, do we path or do we not path? I think we don't. The problem for not pathing, oh, we actually cannot. Huh, I made a mistake here. Stupid Canopy Beast though. I actually messed up here because we don't have double green. Yeah, it's path there. Flaxen for, but it doesn't get me any value, right? No more basics. Oh shit. No more basics. Well, that's good for us. Sad face. Sad face. This is my mistake, obviously, right? I just messed it up. I just messed it up. Forest, snow-covered forest. Kind of specific card. Yeah, Jig, I think. I don't know. How do you have a lot of experience with Depths in Legacy? Have you seen Depths in Legacy? Have you played against it? Have you played with it? You're focusing on the nut draw. Like, who cares about the nut draw? Like, the nut draw is whatever. You should not focus on best case scenarios, because if you're always focusing on best case scenarios, then you should just be playing Belcher all the time. Right? So don't focus on best case scenario because it's just a worthless proposition. Have played Legacy for 8+. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So since you have experience in Legacy, What I'm asking you to do is to not try to focus on the best case scenarios, but instead focus on how good a deck like Depths and a strategy. Also, I should have copied my Radiant Fountain. I made a mistake there. A strategy like Depths, how easy it is to put together, how many times they're able to put it together for so much, how many times they can, after you stop their combo, how many times they go off again, and how quickly they do that. And we're talking about a format that has access to Swords to Plowshares. We're talking about a format that has access to Force of Will. Imagine now the same scenario in a format that doesn't have access to any of those threats. That's why I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to point you into why I think the way that I think, and why I think that you are just very underestimating how powerful that card would be. Force of Will isn't that good versus Depth. Granted, yes, but it's a format that has access to that, is what I'm saying. Again, you're focusing on the... I'm just saying that the answers are so insanely better in Legacy, and Depth is still a tier 1, tier 1.5 deck. Granted, there's crop rotation. Yes, okay, whatever you want. But I think that you're focusing too much on, like, yeah, this is a turn 3 combo. Like, whatever. Like, I don't care about the fact that it's a turn 3 combo. Like, this is not powerful because it's a turn 3 combo. Right? That is in tier 1.5, it's tier 2. Yeah, sure. Whatever. But it's like, it's a deck that hangs in Legacy. And in the context of Modern... yeah, sure, let's keep this in. In the context of Modern, it would be even worse. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but I might be. And maybe just playing Unbinding Depths is fine. I strongly don't think so. Like, I really don't think that's the case. I think that if you added Depths to Modern, it would kind of break the format in half. Is the killer nowhere in Modern? Unearth. Okay. Killing. Which is something you're not factoring. I mean, Reclaimer is still a card. Erayo. It's this deck. Okay. Am I sacrificing Castle here? No, because the Temple Garden still doesn't enter play untapped. So they're probably going to be flipping Erayo here. So since they're flipping Erayo, I guess I want to spend this turn to develop my mana. Roof time versus steps in Legacy, you can afford it up because you can potentially combo off. That's simply not possible in Modern. Yeah, that is true. So here they're probably gonna... Dryad is the one they bounced? Really? Yikes. You had to bounce the other one, OP. You really had to bounce the other one. We're killing the Erayo, obviously. That was clearly like inexperience from my opponent, right? Like that's the... Isn't 33 lands a bit too much? I mean, I wish I would be hitting land drops right now. I'll tell you that much. I really wish I were hitting land drops right here. Okay, so they're flipping that. They are flipping that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw an Explore down the drain. Then we call for Florahedron. We activate Reclaimer here. Get another Valakut. Valakut here and there. Yes. And I think we hold on to this Florahedron here. Or do we want to play it at 6 damage? This is interesting. Is there anything I will want to clear? I guess that they might like bounce my Dryad or something, so I'd rather get my damage in while the gating is good. They have like the fairy and maybe they have other ways of bouncing. So I'd rather just get the damage in. Next turn we can do something similar where we throw away an Explore and then we Reclaimer. If we had found the land drop, we would have just won, but it's unfortunate that we didn't. And that's why we play 35 lands or something, right? So this is just lethal on board? Yeah, my opponent agrees. It's really good in this matchup. Skyclave is. This stops Emery. Eidolon seems great. Yeah, this is not very good. That's pretty solid though. So let's cut Ghost Quarter. I guess we cut Radiant Fountain too. Explore seems kind of medium. Just 2 relics. It's not overboard. Yeah, I don't think Relic is great either, but I think it's good enough to bring in a couple of copies of. That's why I didn't bring the full 4. Not great draws. Not great draws. Just get some F6 value. We're playing Excavator. We are in the sideboard, Leviathan. But not in the main deck. Just gonna flip here. Wow. Alright. It's pretty insane, actually. Alright, flipping on turn 2 on the play. That's really good. That is really, really good. Flipping on turn 2 on the play is quite powerful. This opponent's deck a brew or something established. It's kind of a brew that has started popping up every now and then. I don't like this play. They deny themselves a draw step. Also, cavern seems insane right here. Can we please draw a cavern? That would be awesome. Mo 3 against Erayo. I mean, it's a cool brew for sure. I'm still not sure how good it actually is. Okay, looks like Relic might be pretty good. Not looking great here. Not looking great. I mean, we would obviously be fine, but this is what means that we're not fine, right? So we can throw away an Aldambri Skull to resolve a Reclaimer. We could throw... I feel like we need to Reclaimer here. And we just path the Mentor. Do we path the Mentor or we path the Emery? Oh, and our mana just doesn't function. Oh, that sucks. That really fucking sucks. So we gotta throw... I think we're just going to throw away an Eidolon to resolve Reclaimer. Because, like, us winning... I'm just gonna concede, actually. Because us winning requires us to resolve Reclaimer, but then Embry just kills it, so... Never mind. Yeah, we just didn't have outs anymore. Okay. This stops repeal. Let's go with something like this. Yes, please. Keep. Go get Temple Garden, Reclaimer, go. 3 Titan this list is an outrage. I sideboarded 1 out. Come on, Wind Hussar, you know better than that. In before 10-1 Erayo, I don't think they can do that. Maybe they can. Thought sees me. Go nuts. I think they're gonna take my Florahedron. I mean, they should take my Florahedron. That would be the correct play. Easy! Goddamn easy! So easy! Will we cast the Hedron? No, we play it as a land drop. Like, we care about the land drops. We care about hitting our land drops. That's all that we care about. So I think that my opponent has, what's his name here? But that forces the repeal out of their hand. Yeah, there's a repeal. Bad sequencing from them, by the way. So kind of Vista, and I still think we get Flagstones. Okay, can we draw land? Please. Thank you. Boom. Boom. Let's go. So now, even if they flip, they would need to flip, play Erayo, flip it, and also answer my Reclaimer. They need to do all of those things. Otherwise, they lose. There is a Bazaar in Modern, right? This one. Play that one. Double Thoughtseize would do nothing because Reclaimer is winning by itself. Aether Gust my Dryad. I think that's fine. I think I want to put the Dryad on top, which means that I want to activate right now. Get a Plains, and I think we still get a Flagstones here. Now we put this on top. Here's the format that really needs Bazaar. Really? Are we saying that any format whatsoever needs Bazaar? Come on, Chad. You're better than this. You are better than thinking that any format whatsoever could ever need a card like Bazaar. Every format. The cards are so bad that they are best to discard. I can't argue with that. Lurrus of the Dream Den. Sure. You get one draw. Am I playing both PTQ and Showcase? I am playing the Showcase. I might not be playing the PTQ. But I am definitely playing the Showcase. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2. So I guess I'm in field here. Green, green. Oh, wait a second. Do we get to do both now? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we get to do everything. So 1, 2, 3. Operation. Dead. Lurrus of the Dream, dead. Dead, right? Lurrus of the Dream, dead. Man. So we're gonna do some silly Field of the Dead decks things here. Let's get Valak. That was bad. Oh, Blover, come on. You've been here before. You know that my humor is only top tier. Alright, flip Erayo now, opponent. Time to flip Erayo. Good stuff. 3 and 1. Is he a Sharon Cyber player when modern? Not really. Rock Stacker Stan. Not really. It just doesn't really answer anything. Easy 3-2. Oh yeah, I'm ready. My body is ready for that sweet, sweet 3-2 value. Finally let you beat Neoform? Yeah, the 4-mana card against Neoform. You think so, Windhosar? 4-mana sideboard cards against Neoform. When did that ever backfire, huh? Keep it. Gonna get a basic forest, play a Flamer, pass a turn. $35 land seems like a bit much. Hasn't felt like it. Getting paired against the same deck where we got paired against earlier. Not awfully bad. What are we playing against? Oh, that. Alright, sweet. Well, now I did mess up my sequencing, which sucks. Because I definitely have to go for Flagstones, but... Untap land? Easy. Oh, never mind, I can't do that. Should I just run Apparition in every white deck? Is it that good? Yes. Blubber, it is. Yeah, my opponent's playing Blooming Marsh, which is perplexing, to say the least. So far off. In many decks, it's a straight up 4 off, yeah. But like, I don't know which deck you're talking about, so I can't really help you too much, to be honest. My opponent thinks they can outfield me. This guy? You want to outfield this guy? You don't even know how crazy you are, opponent. You don't even know. You don't even know. Hey Stabs, how's it going? It's going well so far. We're playing against weird decks today. Udo resolves. You got zombies. Can you kill this guy? See if you can't kill this guy. I'm doing this to force my opponent's removal spell, right? Like I want to see what the removal spell is. I assume that they have some form of removal. What do you got, OP? What do you got? FOF. Gifts ungiven. Alright. I guess this is like the spike gifts deck. I'm into it. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, so what are the better removal spells? The better removal spells are Drown in the Lock. And I guess Assassin's Trophy. So they used push, so they still have decay. Gotta make giant. We're gonna Vesuva my bog, and we're gonna get a field. I'm Furious You with the subscription. Prime sub for 6 months. Welcome back, Furious You. Appreciate your support. Gifts is sweet with Uro. Yeah, I think I like FOF better. But yeah, Gift is definitely sweet with Uro as well. I don't know how I feel about the Inquisition of Kozilek in the Gifts deck, I'll tell you that much. That one I'm not too keen on. Jace the Mind Sculptor is good though. The Mind Sculptor is pretty good here. Push, they still have decay. Excuse me? So they probably have a fetch. That sucks. That sucks because I was planning on getting Silesian Sanctuary. I was planning on getting Sanctuary plus second field so I could keep up with what they're doing. And now this basically time walks me because now I can't do that and I can't do that next turn either. That sucks. That is probably the worst draw in the deck. That is quite possibly the worst draw in the deck, which is unfortunate. Damn it. Now we might actually be behind. So we're definitely getting field, and I guess we're getting Blast Zone. It's either Blast Zone or Ghost Quarter. Let's do Ghost Quarter. Yeah, and that's such a brutal draw there. That's really unfortunate. That sucks. Really sucks. Let's see if my opponent plays around Path to Exile. Wow, no respect for Path to Exile. We could have really blown them out there. Mind Sculptor. Sculpting minds and shit. Sculpting minds. Don't sculpt those minds. Yeah, it's possible my opponent doesn't have Cryptic in their deck, actually. I guess we're gonna figure that out very soon. It's possible that they might have already shuffled this away. I doubt it, because, you know, we can still draw a Dryad, you know, so... If it helps, I didn't see Cryptic. I'm assuming because my opponent has only 3 blue sources in play right now. So if they were a Cryptic Command deck, I'm assuming that they would have done things a little bit differently, you know? So I'm expecting them to have like Light from the Loam and shit. Well, let's see what they got. So we want the Uro to be in their hand. So you can have your Loam. We ban the Maelstrom Pulse. And we bin... I guess we do bin the Loam. So their hand is Uro. Raven's Crime. Got me. Which is Vesuva the Bog. Okay, so they draw the pulse. Maybe I should have taken that attack, because if they have a fetch land now they own me. But I think that they're just gonna pulse here because of how they sequence and stuff. Hey, they killed their own dude, that's cute. That's a terrible draw. We just make the only play that we have available. And we pass the turn. We had a bunch of draws that would have just won the game right there, right? If I find a Dryad, or if I find another Titan, we have multiple draws that would have won the game at that point. But even, I guess that we can't draw Operation because it's here, but any of those draws would have been potentially game-winning. Our promise. Okay, that might mean that we die. Oh, also I have 6 like an idiot instead of Ghost Quartering there. Whoops. Big whoops. Big whoops. Try it. Try it. Unless we're pretty far ahead on clock, so that's something, I guess. Got him. Why only one apparition main? This is X-Whales list. I'm not 100% sold on it. They have white? Wow. It's been an insane amount of turns and somehow we had not seen white from them just yet. It's pretty crazy. We're just getting buried by this Mind Sculptor though. I think we're just getting buried to the point where I'm not supposed to fetch here. But I am supposed to chomp because otherwise we are... So Dryad off the top right now. Dryad. Dryad. Ah! Yes. Alright, sweet. So we get to continue playing because this clears the Jace the Mind Sculptor. Come on. Opponent. Opponent. Come on. Opponent. Opponent. Come on. Another gifts? Jeez. Do they have the full 4 gifts? Is that something people can do? Are you telling me that all this time I could be playing a deck with 4 gifts and given and I'm not? Is this lethal? We're gonna get 2 Sombos. They get 2 Sombos. We block 1, 2, 3. We take 6. So we're still fine. I mean, we're not fine. We just have 1 more draw step. But if that one draw step is a prime time, we are in business. Technically, we're not dead. This is dead now. I guess that I didn't think about the fact that they could just, you know, untap and kill my dude. So yeah, I guess we were dead all along. We were dead all along, chat. Yeah, I guess even Jace minus would have been fine. Block. Block. Got him. Okay. Alright, so Relic sounds insane against my opponent. Teague sounds okay. Not insane, but okay. This sounds okay. Mind Sensor sounds legit. And so does Apparition. So those are the cards that I am somewhat interested in. That one can go. Fountain can go. Druid can probably go. I think that we're going to be playing the long game more often than not here. Paths will go. Anaya Lance deck feels great. It was fun. It was fun when I streamed it. I had a good time. Brutal. Also brutal, but less brutal. Thoughts on Crucible versus Raminap? I mean, one of them I can tutor for, the other one I can't, so it's a pretty straightforward answer. Precisely. Actually, I guess I should have played this, because I'm gonna fetch on end step here, because they might Ravis Crime me again. Yep. So I'm baiting the other Dryad. And now I'm gonna be calling for Reclaimer, so So yeah, I guess I should have. I fucked it up. Opponent too good, doesn't even minus. Too good, doesn't even minus. Turn 3 Ashok is brutal. I think we were fine until my opponent slammed it at that Ashok, and now I'm not fine. not even close. Not even remotely close to fine anymore. Not even remotely close to fine anymore. Look at my opponent milling themselves. Good job, OP. Good job. Playing properly. I guess we're facing Oro here, so I'm just gonna concede. Like we could keep going, but we're gonna lose. So that was sad. That was sad. It definitely, like that drop. We could have definitely done a lot better with just slightly different draws, but it is what it is sometimes. How do we like this? I definitely want a second operation in the main deck. I honestly don't know how Will is playing only one. Like it kind of blows my mind a little bit. So we add a second operation. I'm not feeling the kind of Bivista at all. Going back to Scattered Grooves. Exo the Mage with a tier 1 sub for 24 months. Wow, Exo, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. 2 years now. Sweet. Is minus irrelevant with Reclaimer only when you have the potential of making it a 3/4, right? But I only had one land in my graveyard, so there was no potential for me to take advantage of that. So three lands in kind of maximum. Yeah, we can disagree on that one. I could see cutting the land, but I don't think it's necessary. Like I'm fine with the amount of lands that we're playing right now. I think I could cut like another castle, one of the 3 castles. This also opens up a slot for one more sideboard card, which I think I want it to be like a Winds of Abandon or a Dismember or something like that. I guess I want Dismember. But I definitely want it to be an extra removal spell. Did you ever want Florahedron over Explore? So Florahedron is a land that we can call. It actually happened this very league. Against the Erayo deck, I actually won because I could call for a land. It literally came up the league that we just played. So yes, I think I like having access to the first Florahedron before the 4th Explorer. So the bigger question marks in this list right now feels like both matchups that I lost. If I had access to Boyle, I would have won. Or I could have won. Definitely the control one, right? Like the control deck, against the control deck, if we had had Boyle instead of Relic, I think we would have won. Turn Timber, no. I recommend you read these cards, because no, you cannot call for Turn Timber. This is a sorcery, Pterodax. This is not a creature. Trust me, if we could call for a Turn Timber, there would be no need for this. No, it's more of a matter of Winds being a sorcery versus Dismember being an instant. Instant is just so important for the mirror match and against this card specifically. So I think that it's worth having the extra removal spell, the instant speed removal spell. All right, so I think I'm going to fire up a league with this. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video right after this one. Take care.